Welcome to Crosscut, a movie review slash trivia challenge show. I'm your co-host Josh.
And I'm your other co-host, Chris.
Insidious, The Red Door, a horror mystery thriller starring Patrick Wilson, who must go deeper into the further ever than before to put his and his son's demons to rest once and for all. Chris just got out of the theater not that long ago. What'd you think of Insidious, The Red Door?
And overall, it was exciting, as all the Insidious movies are. Uh, there were some jump scares here and there, but I was a little bit let down for some of them because I kind of knew they were coming, you know. Uh, it does seem like a closure to the chapter of all the Insidious movies. I did get that feel, but I don't know. I thought it was an okay movie. What about you?
I had a great time. I really enjoyed it. First off, I really like the first two Insidious movies. We actually saw the second one in theaters together.
Right.
That was 10 years ago, and that
Yeah.
one did feel like a good closing of a chapter.
It did. It
So when I found out they're doing another one, but it was the family, I was happy about that because I like the family in the first two movies.
Right.
Whereas the ones after that were just it's kind of like these random people I just didn't care about. Now that it's about the family, that's great. One of the things you do have to expect is the jump scares. I don't mind the jump scares. There's some great setups in this movie, some great tension, and you're going to have your sort of cheap jump scares. It's going to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
We do get to see some familiar faces as well. Not
Yeah.
just the family, but we get to see some older characters as well. And
It's
I had
very
a
true.
really great time just being creeped out and
That's for sure.
uh, I thought this movie had some really tense moments. So yeah, I really liked it. I really enjoyed Insidious: The Red Door. Did you have any expectations going into the movie?
Having expectation about this one was maybe, I don't know. I I was pretty much expecting like any other Insidious movie, just the jump scares straight onto the point, the build up for the main like entity or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which that's why I think it was a little bit it felt different. It wasn't more focused on the entity, but more on, you know, Dalton and how his way of living with it kind of thing. You know?
What I liked about this is it ultimately is like a father son story, and I think the thing I like the most about this movie is it doesn't have a cheap ending. It doesn't have like a cheap horror ending, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Which
it has a good ending.
it has a nice fitting ending to where it truly because even in the second one, I do remember in Insidious Part Two, that felt like a fitting ending for the family, but then they kind of still do that little like tease of like there's more.
Right.
So, what I liked about this, I kept kind of hoping like please don't do some sort of cheap ending, something's gonna pop out of the camera. Thankfully it doesn't happen. It's actually a really
Yeah,
nice ending.
it
I'm
is.
not
It
gonna.
is.
I don't
Yeah.
want to spoil stuff, so because that's this spoiler free. There are some, like we said before, there are some great cameos that kind of show up. But yeah, I think what I really liked about this was that it was it didn't have a cheap ending for a horror movie. I wish there was more with the whole family. It was really just more about father son, which
It
that's
was.
fine because also they're the ones throughout the series that have been going into the further. So it would
Sure.
make sense
Sure.
to be focused on them. And then we do get to see the family towards the end, which
Hmm.
is nice to have them sort of back together, even though they're not all physically back together.
But yeah, like you said, it's a nice end to the franchise if that's really what the end is going to be.
You never know. It'll be interesting to see how this movie does box office wise, because I was looking at it before we got on. Every Insidious movie's done really well as far as box office, but
Okay.
we'll see if this one keeps up the trend. It's got a lot of competition, so
It does. It
I
does.
don't know.
We'll
I
see
don't
how
know.
it goes this weekend.
We'll see how it goes. But yeah, ultimately, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really creepy. I thought Patrick Wilson, who also directed it, as his directorial debut, I thought he did a
Yeah.
great job. I thought, he's been in the game for so long at this point. Two Insidious
Mhm.
movies. He's now been in like three Conjuring movies plus an Annabelle
Yeah.
movie. So he's he may not have directed anything before technically, but he's been around the block. I mean, he's been on James
Person.
Wan's sets, so he's seen how he does it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I thought he did a good job though. This movie has some really sweet moments. Like I said, father son. I thought the ending was
Yes.
nice, where he finally gets his moment where he's like, "Oh, I'm up on the wall now." So yeah,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Insidious. I highly recommend it. If you're a person that enjoys horror movies and you're maybe on the fence about this one, because I get it, it's the fifth installment of this franchise that kind of faded
Right.
years back. I would say definitely check it out in theaters because it truly is creepy.
It's creepy. If you're a fan of the Insidious movies, go for it. You know, if you like that getting jump scared a lot, it's for you. You know.
There's definitely there's definitely jump scares. I mean,
Yeah.
I was
I
definitely on
got
edge.
I got jumped. I got jumped a couple
Chris got
times.
jumped in the theater.
Oh God, not that kind of jump.
All right, and that is our spoiler-free review of Insidious: The Red Door.
Thank you everyone for watching, and stay tuned for the full episode coming this Tuesday.
See you there.
See you there.